So just like I stated in my last video, I said where I've been at for like the past 3 to 4 months. I've been doing things and learning things along the way that I do want to document and that I should have documented. So I'm talking to those today that are salaried. If you make like 75 to 150,000 a year, don't be discouraged. I know you come across social media and they tell you you don't need your job. Just start a business. But it takes a lot of intentional fortitude to be an entrepreneur. Not everybody could be an entrepreneur. So as I document this journey now, which I'm about to start, I should have just got everything I needed today, but I am everything that I need to document. I want you to know that not everybody, at least yet, doesn't have the intentional fortitude or the grit, hasn't developed the grit to be able to support themselves, meaning like get their money on their own, support a family. I'm talking about being an entrepreneur. So if you work a 9 to 5 and you're salaried 75 to 150,000 a year, you're gonna know the reason why I said 150,000. Why you see that gap, 75 to 150,000. If you're salaried and you do want to exit eventually, you're gonna have to take the steps in order to get to that level. You might not be there yet, but eventually you will. You want to exit? I'm gonna document my whole journey and I'm gonna show you my mistakes. So I'm gonna tell it to you like this. If you're salaried, if you have a 9 to 5, if you're a regular employee, it doesn't matter. Get yours. So your job is pregnant with the business that you do want to start. I'm gonna transition my channel into what it takes internally to make this happen, to start a job and to exit. But I want you to know one thing. Your job, your 9 to 5, if you're salaried, it pays you twice. You want to know why it pays you twice? It pays you twice because it pays you once for your salary, for what you do, and one for the mistakes that you're gonna make. So my channel is all about leverage now. Use what you got. Learn to see abundance around you. It pays you twice. I'm gonna reiterate that again. It pays you twice. Once for what you do, and the other one is for the mistakes that you can make. Under their payroll, you should be able to take those mistakes and make it applicable to whatever business you're gonna start. So, what does it take to be an entrepreneur? It takes leadership, communication, delayed gratification, risk tolerance, discipline. And I want to talk about discipline a little bit, because this is how I define discipline. I define Not discipline is doing something that you don't want to do and doing it anyway. Yeah, that's half the truth. I define discipline as structuring your day around everything you want to do and need to do, and focus on that, and decide that there won't be no other distractions, and just fully focus on the things that you need to do, whether it's a list or not, and just focus on those things for the day. Any other thing that comes into your life, you don't give full attention to, or you don't leave no emotional residue behind. Applying, if you need to stop the focus for a little bit, like people call it, like just air out and come back to the ground. If you need to do that, then that doesn't, it shouldn't affect you. But that's ultimately what I define as discipline. So in retrospect, the infrastructure that's needed to become an entrepreneur is those things: leadership, communication, delayed gratification, risk tolerance, discipline. And why I say delayed gratification? Delayed gratification is important because you got to be able to continuously do something with no result. No one clapping, only you clapping in that auditorium for you. And the outcomes may vary. You do have to have a strong belief system, a strong faith, and not let your desires and expectations pull in two different directions. Meaning, your desire, like what you want to happen, and your expectation, what comes into mind right after you desire something. Like, oh, it might go wrong. You got to be able to have laser focus, and whatever happens in the uncertainty, you'll come out victorious. So, as I document my journey, I'm going to show you the mistakes, me having over a decade in the industry that I am in, through salary. I learned things and I made some mistakes that allowed me to apply whatever mistakes I made that I was getting paid for anyway, under somebody else's responsibility. Even though mistakes happen and you can, get so upset about yourself that you get so down on yourself that you can't return back to the focus. So you have to be able to have strong decision making. And the things that I do on the side, that I was applying those to, that I didn't know that those things were speaking to me, like swing trading, day trading, whatever you want to call it, real estate development, logistics, all these things. Like I could mention certain things. Look, this is how I like to see the abundance around me. So I'm gonna make things more practical for you to understand, but I love the magic in between. I can't just negate the magic that's going on that I notice and that I use. So let's say swing trading. It allowed me to understand more of my patience and in fast decision making. And not necessarily fast, just decision making and having a structure into how I make my decisions, like my mental syntax, how I make a decision, and nothing is just unshakable. And I'm okay with what transpires because I followed a certain structure. So that same thing applies to the industry that I'm in. Now, you could say real estate development. It's funny that it has these similar words like subcontractors and contracting, and being able to have communication and be on site and making sure things is the way I want them to be. So I don't let things, you got to know what you want. One of the most important things is knowing what you want, because after you know what you truly want, then you can make a decision and everything else is easy after that. So having subcontractors, me being in the beef industry, being a supervisor in this industry, I have to be able to be on point and know what my team is doing. Now, my team, I can't fully blame my team for what they're doing. I got to be able to internally influence the masses, meaning know what my team is doing, making sure that they're following certain SOPs or rules or KPIs. Make sure that they're hitting them and knowing exactly what I want. So if they ask me, should I do this? And I'd be like, I think I want you. So is that I think or I know what I want to be done for the whole team, for us to be good, right? So like real estate development, subcontractors, subconscious, I got to know what I want internally. And if it changes, it changes. I make changes and pivot along the way. And that's another thing with a lot of young folks. They want everything to be so perfect. And forget that we all have ankles, man. We be allowed to pivot. And logistics, just being able to make sure something gets to its destination in a form that it should get to its destination. Make sure it gets there right. Make sure it's handled correctly. It's like moving energy and allocating energy. See, like swing trading or day trading is all about allocating capital. Some might see it as risk. This is where risk tolerance comes into. But you have to make a decision, and it's all right. And make sure that you're good with the uncertain. So I'm just documenting my journey. So whatever you're learning, I'm learning at the same time. Some things I might already know that I might discuss, but we all learning together, and that's the whole point. So that's the direction that I'm gearing towards too. But now that you understand that your job, it pays you twice. Once in salary and the other for the mistakes that you're making. Imagine making a mistake and not being, of course, you'll be held accountable for it, but ain't nobody gonna fire you. Ain't nobody gonna be you good. So use that. The main word that I want you to like capsulize, put it in the capsule is leverage. Leverage what's around you. You have everything you need around you. Pretty sure that we all don't have the same resources. It's just the access to it, or the knowledge, or the vision to actually see what you got around you. Like, for instance, let's make this a little bit magical. Because this is what I do. I have to. I could say I'm not going to do this no more. I'm not going to talk about all this. When I say spiritual, I'm talking about the internal things that you need to make it happen. The infrastructure. And being able to handle 75 to 150K. You want, because that's it. You're a millionaire. Invested at 6%. If you make 75 or 80,000 a year, you're already a millionaire. Invested at 6%. That's 5,000 a month. Doesn't mean it's cash flowing, but that's another version of a millionaire. So there's levels. You keep growing. But the same thing that gets you 75 and then you try to get 150, the same thing that took you to get to that 75 is not the same thing as going to make you get to 150. You got to still break certain beliefs and certain like walls that you build around yourself in order to get that. And that's why you keep growing. That's why I'm documenting this journey so we can all learn together. Because this shit is fun as hell now. Back to what I was saying, like I make sure that this thing that I do is magical every second of my day. You want to know how? So another big thing that you got to have is to be an entrepreneur. Like everybody wants to exit their job because whatever. I don't know if people's following gurus saying that, That's cool. Your time will come. But leverage what you got around you. Now, if you're not gonna do it now, you're gonna wait till you can't wait till it's a perfect time, because then you gotta negate everything else you did to get to that perfect time. Might as well use what you got right now. If you show yourself internally and the world around you, the universe, that you could do it with or without no expectations of you trying to leave your job, then it won't happen. It won't happen in the now. So like this, I make sure it's magical. And I don't even try. I just notice it. And I hope you notice everything that you're blessed with around you as well. So another word or another quality that you need to have to be an entrepreneur is grit. Making sure that you have what it takes to make it happen, even when you believe it's not going your way. This is like resilience, but this is grit. Just having that. You don't have to force that. It's just grit that you have. You got responsibility is the ability to respond. So just having grit. Like today, I just decided to eat fish and grits. See, look, I got my smoker going, man. No lie. It's going. I got the salmon in there. Y'all want to walk over there? Y'all want to walk over there? That's cool. And I should have did this as a live, so I'm asking y'all like we on a live. But I got fish and grits in there. You are what you eat, so might as well eat grits if I have grit. But it's not trying. It's just you have to have fun with whatever's around you, man. So I'm excited to fully document my whole journey and bring you on site to the things that I do. Because I kind of was closing off from that and try to just give y'all like certain knowledge of what it takes internally, like spiritually. But I noticed that it's kind of confusing, so it's good to make it a little practical as well. And I'm confident, and I trust that you guys will accept and understand where I'm coming from with this and what is my intention. And my intention is to tell you that wherever you at, just leverage wherever you at. Use whatever's around you, because you're trying to get to a certain point, but in order for it not to slip through your fingers, you got to be able to keep that. It's easy probably to make $1 million, but it's keeping that might be tough. So you got to have certain internal things to make those things happen. So just my message for the day, this beautiful Sunday, is continue to be exceptional. You'll make it through, and leverage. Remember, your job pays you twice. If you're salaried or you just got a 9 to 5, it pays you twice. Once for your salary and once for the mistakes that you're making, that you could apply and make it applicable to any other arena, any business that you want to start. So congratulations to you if that's where you're at. Blessings if that's where you want to go. If you want to just work for yourself, remember, you're always going to have a boss. So if you quit your job because you hate your boss, you're going to have clients. In another way, shape, or form, they might tell you what to do, so they might be your boss. You might turn one boss that you hate into 100 bosses. You don't have to look at it into that light. You can always make sure that you're in control of the narrative, but it's important to know what you're serving and what you're aligning yourself with. So blessings to y'all. Y'all already know what I'm about to say, man. Let's keep it infinite.